Hello everybody, and welcome to episode 23 of my tutorial series for Dwarf Fortress. Today's topic is a really necessary one, and that's happiness tweaking, because our place here, well, as you can see, we have by now 18 dwarfs that aren't too happy, and 14 dwarfs that are pretty angry, and 3 dwarfs that are basically only angry. So, well, I don't like that, and today I felt like it's a good episode to get a little bit of these things finally going, because I have had a look in that city, and when we check it out here, so every one of these blocks here is 10 people, so that's 20, 30, 40, 45. That's 150 people here. So 45 we have here. Well, let's say we got here 55, and well, altogether, it's really easily discernible that we just don't have enough rooms for everybody, and that's one problem we got to address. Happiness is spread by bedrooms, and therefore we really need more bedrooms. And besides of that, you see all these merry clothes lying around. That's because those poor suckers, they don't have cabinets, so we gotta change something about that as well, I'd say. All in all, we got to do a lot of city building and tweaking here today, and I also want to finally address the poor little haggard child in the city and all these things. So, main topic for today is going to be surviving the fun the game flings at me and improving a little bit on the happiness of this place. So, first things first, let's smooth out these areas here, and we'd better start engraving this area here too. Funnily enough, you can engrave metal barred walls or walls made out of metal bars, however you want to call them. But this is really just the start. This is just modifying what we already got. What we do down here will be the next district, because I figured that we just don't have that much space here. I have mixed some workshops in here, which I really don't like to do usually, but here it just happened. So what we're going to do here will be simply a entirely new district of, oh whoopsie, of the city. So we can just get ourselves a couple of new apartments. So I'm going to go for this layout yet again because I personally like that. And we also don't have enough services available. I've checked out the dining hall situation. Last time I counted, I had 5 spots for my dwarfs to eat at in the city district. And that's just, considering the fact that we have 154 people in this fortress living, that's a little bit low, isn't it? So our haggard child is going for another tantrum yet again. So thing with these tantruming children is usually there's almost nothing you can do about it. A haggard dwarf grows so because something just happened in his life that messed him up really hard. So there's usually, well, I I have heard that if you really give them time off and separate them from the people that they could trouble, and do something to get them to keep them happy constantly, they might or might not drop the haggard trait. But usually this gets triggered by something really bad happening. Let's see. Well, here, trauma here, but something in year 104 probably happened. This guy isn't too long there in this state, whatever. But all in all, if a dwarf grows haggard, you usually just to gotta roll with it. Oh, and another thing that I forgot. We're not done with this little dwarf, but I really want to do before I forget it yet again. In the last episode, I forgot to bring up the slab for this dude here, so that's really important. So when you want to handle haggard dwarves, well, usually the usual things that people do is either expel them or kill them off, because well, you can of course try to therapy them. I mean, here he just punched a goat, obviously, still throwing the tantrum here. So just destroyed the clothier's workshop. So as you see there, these dudes, they are really up to no good, and it just doesn't stop. It just doesn't stop with them. Or wait a second, it wasn't the clothier. Oh, it was. I have two of them. Okay, so we're going to handle this now in a fashionable style. There are very many. There are, of course, as with all problems in this game, many ways how you can deal with it. But here, I want to feature the what people usually do, and if they want to get rid of the haggard dwarf problem really quickly. Here, so he now exited his tantrum, so we're going to follow him later, and one thing at a time. So once the slab has been placed, that ghost should dissipate too. Let's watch that. And then we're going to go for, here. As you see here, a ghostly bowman has put to rest. This will do something about our happiness issues as well. So next thing that I want to work on here is get into the work orders tab, and let's check out what we got there. We got rock crafts. That's a nice thing, but rock crafts, well, it's just something to get rid of my rock. What I want to do here, which has been really brought up quite a lot, is making rock toys. So toys are insofar really, really important as your kiddos like to pick them up and play with them. You can't even bring a stockpile zone for rock toys or toys in general, and the kiddos will then flock there and play at the spot where these are. The gist of it is with producing multi. When you're producing toys for your city, you are making practically automatically the children more happy. If you just produce crafts in general, there is a high tendency that there won't be enough toys for the kids. I have tried that several times, and for whatever reason that is, maybe somebody knows, whenever I assigned only crafts, there were just not enough toys. They seem to be not listed among the crafts. That's the easiest solution that I've found so far. So, of course, we're now going to start and cabinet up these places. This is, by the way, another nice way of making your population happier, because the more luxurious furniture they got in their apartment, the better. So basically, if you have a apartment that's stupidly stacked with riches, the dwarves in there will be much less susceptible to bad moods, because they just have super nice home, and whenever they drop in there, they're just like, man, that's a beautiful door. Man, that's a beautiful cabinet. You get the idea. All right, dwarves are vibing, and we have a new mandate. So let's see. Make spiked balls. Alright, gotcha. It's really important that you follow these mandates whenever they come up. Otherwise, you will have people sent into jail or into prison quite often. So the real nasty thing there is, though, if you fulfill those mandates too quickly, you just get the next mandate. That's what sucks about them. You can either risk forgetting them and doing them later, or yeah, well, you do them immediately. I actually do like that system because it keeps things nasty. So next thing we do for the sake of happiness, we're going to get ourselves a huge dining hall. That's all going to be dining area, because we do need. So let's check on out where our haggard child's at. I know this guy now. Whoopsie, wrong button. Just wanted to focus on him. So the idea now is we're going to wait until that little guy here is sitting somewhere where we can lock a door behind him. And we'll do that. End of the story. This is a little bit brutal, but it is by far one of the easiest ways to get rid of haggard dwarves. I mean, let's see if we can do that here as well via the burrows. So Let's see if we can burrow that little sucker in. Never tried that, but we're going to do this now. So we assign a new burrow for our little dude here himself. So sadly, you cannot you cannot search for a certain person. That really sucks. I really wish that these things are finally in there. But, well, now... Here, Stakud. That's the dude. So let's see if he's going to go inside the burrow if we assign him to that. Most likely not, because he's just going to not give a damn about it. So we are also running lower on food and drink, so I want to harvest and forage a little bit. So let's see. We can... Can we do something here? Only farmers harvest? No, you can't change that. So I don't want to have these really, really tasty harvesting XP on the wrong people. So we're going to do something about that. So why do we have so many work details here that I don't use? Jeez. All right, let's get rid of all these that are not assigned to anything. Jeez. I think I did some tutorial the other day. So here we have, these are actually in use. All right, so let's rename it into Smiths. So we have some oversight about these things. It's really, really important that you name these. Unlike me, didn't here. So you see, it's already more deep, more orderly. So what we're now requiring is somebody who does the harvesting for us. So here we go. It's up here in the farming, and it's plant gathering. So plant gathering is a job that, just like the farmer, if somebody is really good at it, he'll get a much higher yield out of what he's picking compared to somebody who's not good at it. So we're only going to give these jobs now to at least adequate herbalists. So now let's start harvesting. The funny thing here is we can now actually harvest our dungeon area. Look at that. I mean, that's because all that stuff has grown here, and we can now select it for harvest. The thing here is, if I look at my food and drink situation, this ain't looking good. I don't like that. So let's change something about that. And now, well, did I not assign that to those people here? Does that not work like I wanted to? Okay. So plant harvest does troll me. I wanted to do a smart move. Plant gathering. Is it the wrong job? I don't think so. That's sad. I always thought that you could do that. I specifically left that open for... Alright. Never mind me. I tried to show you a nice trick, but actually, or dwarfs are like, why should I respect that job assignment that you just gave? Speaking about disrespecting things, that kiddo is still sitting there and being like, no, I'm attending a meeting. Damn. All right. So the other thing that you can do in situations like these, obviously, would also be to just construct a few strategic walls. We should make that pig iron. That's stupid. And wait until the problem has resolved. I don't think that this is a, well, a humane or adequate solution, but you guys got to consider that this little guy here has recently strangled another dwarf. His little 4-year-old dwarf has already killed another person. So I'm honestly not that much on his side anymore. So down here we see a troll getting killed. So that's because our dungeoneers are doing their thing. Okay, so let's watch this closely. And whoa! All right, so yeah, we don't have a clothier's workshop now. That's something to pay attention to. So let's rebuild that somewhere else. And now, well, it's the easiest way of dealing with haggard dwarfs. I don't like to do this, and I don't think it's a great thing. But the problem is, even if we would now employ a justice system, children are not part of the justice system. So, TLDR, we could convict that kid of its crimes, but we couldn't punish him for his crimes. We couldn't even put him into jail for that. So, well, we're going to go over dwarf therapy in the future, probably, maybe, I don't know. But for today, this we're going to put an end to the endless tantrums of that little boy. So another thing that I want to do here and introduce here is I want to change up some of these work orders. So as you might or might have not noticed, we do require doors quite often, and I have set it up that this only gets done once per day. This is not that good. Here I'm increasing now the number to 5, just because I have made the experience that we need doors, and we need them so damn regularly that or craftsdwarfs or stone workers can just make more of them. It's no problem whatsoever. Quite the opposite might be the case. We do need more of these. Also, I feel like my furniture stockpiles are ridiculously small. That's, by the way, one of the big reasons why I don't like to put workshop floors and city floors on the same spot. As you see here, we are just under undersupplied with building room, at least in my humble opinion. All right, so let's get started with a good dining hall. The thing about dining halls is they should really, really provide a lot of room. Practically, you should have tables and thrones for 20% of the fortress. So basically, we have 150 people, 10% would be 15, so we should have at least 30 places where dwarfs can eat at least. Better more, because you never know what'll happen. So we're going to prepare this area now, and the swarm of stone cutters is doing their thing. I find that really, really insane. Once you have enough dwarfs, it's looking so crazy. So let's check out if we're... why is our still not working? So let's check that problem. So, look at this. The work orders are still bound to the specific workshops. Definitely got to change that. So we delete these and we replace these immediately. There we go. So here we go. And we're going to do this as long as we have brewable things. There we go. For now, I leave these work orders like that. Probably will change them up later. So, of course, there has been nothing, nobody brewed anything. If the still, I don't even know if that still is still in it, and yeah. All right, we totally got to dismantle this area here. This is very, very important, or at least we got to dismantle this still, because it's just no good here. So let's get back down to our actual farming and such lot, and we definitely want at least second still here. So let's put that down here. Your dwarfs can't just walk over these workshops, so don't worry about them being in the way or anything. No problems. Never a problem. So, our little troublemaker here, well, now, as you see here, he's hungry and thirsty, and, well, he's still attending his meeting. Good for him. And like I said, you can also resolve those issues differently. You don't need to murder every haggard dwarf, but by all means, it is one fast way to deal with the problem. Okay, so let's do the engraving of our dining hall, and then we can staff it out. So dining halls are quite easy. You just need tables and stools there. And obviously, I feel like you might notice that we're just not getting our stuff done fast enough. So I feel like I want to bring up a second stoneworkers workshop, and it's a little bit uncomfortable for me because we don't seem to have that much room for it here. So this is something that is just a result of bad base design here. But I figured I just go with it, you know. There's a thief, but we're definitely not going to be able to get that thief before he's going to flee for it. Too bad. How are we getting inside, I ask myself. And another siege has arrived. Alrighty. So, my friends, let's do this. So, unlike the last time, we're going to go for. Let's see, is that thing finally done? It's not done yet. Damn, you guys. They stopped working on it again. All right. So what I want to try now is I want to assign a new borough, and I want to try to keep all the civilians downstairs with that. I've heard this might be buggy, but I still want to try. So we assign this entire huge area as a borough, and we assign all the civilians to that, all 134. So only our military dwarves will now be allowed to be outside. So everybody else should now go inside. Wonderful. Pay attention also to the fact that thieves and the siege did combine with each other. It's not unusual that things like these, thieves, snatchers, and the like, accompany either caravans or other or sieges. So, in terms of happiness improvement, before we get into the siege, the most important thing will be to give myself this area here, and I just wanted to check on out here because I know that I will get sidetracked soon. So checking out the segment of these of the dwarves here at the where the 11 are at. So for example, this guy wants to have martial training. We're going to go over these in the course of the time now and make sure to see what they want to see to their needs. Crafting an object, we can do that as well, but let's just spank some goblins. I just wanted to point out, if you have a couple of people in your fortress that are specifically unhappy, for example, this guy needs a good prayer, so let's build him a temple then while we're at it. That's things that really help you out. All right, so let's see. I hope that we're not going to lose any fisher dwarves this time, and let's pull that lever and see what will happen this time when the force of darkness will try to engage on our base. I mean, we got a cat outside, and here the first gobs arrive. So unlike the last time, there's nobody outside that they could attack. Our animals are inside the fortress pasture, and I'm really looking forward to see what happens now. When we get on over here, it's just another regiment of bowmen, so we could probably just send in our military and let them do their thing, but I really want to see what happens here. So rockfall trap, smack. So spinning granite misses, and the mica strikes the goblin bowman in the tongue. Alright, he tried to lick the stone, I guess. Or deflect it with his tongue, I don't know. So it cracked his skull. Bam. These guys, well, the traps, the thieves, as you see here, they're really good at dodging these traps. So the thief just evaded it all, and well, the cages got them. And here we got another dude just exploding. Neat. So I really don't know how that guy died, but he definitely did. So as you see there, the rockfall traps are now spent. They are not many. You cannot use them several times. But here, that guy lost his ear by trying to get through that trap. As you see there, traps, they have their limits. Ooh, that guy died. Ooh, he got splattered by the serrated discs. So the rest of the enemy is now trying to find a way inside, I guess. So let's see where they will head. The fun thing about that is I do now know that there is no other way inside than this one. So it's going to be quite an interesting thing to watch. But as you see there, we got now a completely different situation. So there's one thief that somehow managed to enter this place. All right, but we're just going to get ourselves or soldiers now, And we're going to set them on patrol now. So let's do a new patrol route. Create it here, and it's going to be from here to there to there to there. So confirm that and send them on patrol and see how much fun they'll have with our dudes. So there we go. The next thief ran into one of the weapon traps, and you might have already noticed that these weapon traps are stupidly powerful. Like, they are totally dissolving these guys. And, as you saw there, one of the goblins died over here. How did that happen? It's simply that they can and will climb your walls, and therefore you really should have a lid on that, like I said. So here we're just going to let them run into the remaining gobs. So there we go. The thing is about a well-trained soldier squad of yours. They are really, really powerful, and he's tantruming again against standard goblins, but they are really, really more terrifying things than standard goblins, you know, and therefore, in the long run, you will be able to take out these guys easily, but you will be always afraid of what comes with the gob, you know. That's the really nasty part. So now I'm going with the smelting tool over the corpses of the gobs, and we're going to allow everything. I personally prefer to have everything. Yeah, sorry, it's the wrong tool. I personally prefer to have everything forbidden right from the get-go, because that stops your dwarfs from suiciding into a battlefield. Personally, find that a such an important thing to work with, you know. All right, we did a great job, I think. Our defenses are coming together really, really nicely. And I think it's about time to think about another weapon trap, now that we have so many serrated discs and we have 19 giant iron X blades. Holy, oh boy. So I saw these guys running around there, so we're going to put these together here. And traps can be as effective as any military squad, so therefore you really should pay attention to that and use them accordingly. This is a really nice strategy, especially in regions where you got issues, for example, to staff out your to fully staff out your military because you're low on metal and whatnot. So I really, really like to do this. All right, so let's get downstairs though. Luckily, we have a few more minutes left before this episode is over. And, well, we just had a few small improvements for today. I'm really sad that I haven't found more time for that, but let's build that one temple before I most definitely will forget that again. And the strive for dwarven happiness is, of course, something you should always follow. You should always go after, because happy dwarfs don't are resilient dwarfs, you know. Oh yeah, and by the way, we need to dissolve the burrow afterwards, otherwise nobody will do anything. And the more happiness in your fortress is when bad things happen, the easier your dwarves will stomach that and not go tantruming just like that real quick, you know. That's the idea behind it. Alrighty, so that's going to be with the dining hall. Will take a while. We're going to slap in tables and thrones once the engraving duty has been finished, and then we will have a better spot for dwarfs to eat. The idea behind a big dining hall is a quite simple one. A big room staffed out with tons of items is so really powerful in keeping your people happy, because whenever they enter a super staffed out dining room, very, very high chance that they will leave it happy. So let's see what kind of god this is. Is this really I think this one here, Kikros Nourish Sculpture. I think that was the god that this guy, the one guy, was missing. Let's see, the legendary presser, yeah. I'm a little sad that you cannot read them properly. They often get garbled like that, but this is clearly the god they were looking for. So we're going to continue carving out this area. We're going to continue building beds and harvesting wood. There's a lot of things that we need to industrialize on, but luckily we also have a lot of dwarves to get the jobs done. Now, as we have ruled out the food problematic as well, you know, we do have a depleting number on drinks still, so let's check out one thing. Oh, we have a human trader. Wonderful. So we can utilize that well as well, but I want to check on out. So the stills are working, you know? That's the first really important thing. The stills are working. So this place here is working too, so things are coming together. All right, everybody, we're going to continue next episode with the things that are online here. Right now, what we hasn't had too much impact yet, but it will show real quickly. The siege has interrupted me, of course, a little bit, and on the other hand, I totally gotta admit that this fortress would have had a lot of it would have been necessary to invest in this fortress's happiness a while ago. That's what I'm trying to say. I have stalled that issue for a little bit too long, and therefore it does take a while for the changes to have effect. Simply because we're not carving out beds fast enough. We don't have enough doors all the time. All those little things they really stall us, and therefore, right now I'd say the biggest sources of unhappiness in this fortress are certain people that need to fulfill certain needs a little bit more often, like that one dude that wanted this specific temple, and that one dude that wants to do martial training. It's always a good idea to put these guys into soldier duty. If they want to fight, give them a fight, and these things. So we're going to continue with this topic a little bit further down the road, therefore, and I really hope you guys enjoyed. Let's see. Do I have any fuel left? Ah, we successfully drained ourselves out of all coke. So that's going to be the next topic next time. So I thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you found this helpful and entertaining. I certainly enjoy this series a lot. Feel free to leave me any things that you want to know about in the comment section below. I really love to go for certain topics that are interesting for you, as you all know. And leave a thumbs up on that video, consider subscribing, and there is the playlist link down there leading to all the other episodes I made of this series and all the other Dwarf Fortress tutorials I made. So knock yourself out, thanks for watching, and hopefully see you soon next time.